Enjoy this free preview from MyOutdoorTV. With the largest library of outdoor shows, we're the home of the adventurous, the champions, the legends. MyOutdoorTV. Try us free.
Last year, Laramie Sasquatch Miller set out to test his skills as a true mountain man.
Yeah, oh.
He endured the harsh elements.
4 or 5 inches of snow, maybe more. I don't want to get snowed in up here. Oh boy.
Injuries to his horse.
Could be worse. He could have broke his leg, but I mean, it feels like it's in the single digits, but I don't know what it is.
Lack of food and resources.
How can you hike through the woods as much as I have and not even see a squirrel?
Eventually, his determination paid off.
My God. Holy smokes. I'm starving in this right here. Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
He found a safe haven. And in the end, he thrived. This year, Laramie sets out on a new adventure. Stronger, wiser, and ready to face whatever comes his way. He knows it won't be easy, but that's the chance you take on the trail. Laramie Sasquatch Miller is a throwback champ from another era, a creature of the past. This hunter, father, figure of the West, is a man of the mountains with a calling to fulfill. Join him on the trail, presented by Case Knives.
What you see here is I got a big chunk of bear fat, and I'm gonna render it down. It's still frozen, so I'm just trying to warm it up enough to where I can pull it apart, cut it up into smaller pieces, and then I'll render this for a couple of hours, sift it through some cheesecloth, and I've got my bear oil, bear fat, bear grease to be able to wipe on my buckskins, my saddle, the waterproof everything. A mountain man's lifeline back in the day. Bear fat saved a lot of people. You know, Lewis and Clark, they went along the trail and they were eating an average of 9 pounds of red meat a day and almost starved to death. But you know what saved them? They got into this part of the country and the Flathead Indians said, you guys need to be eating bear and beaver because of the fat content. Bear fat was the lifeline of the West. We'll let that go and go do some more projects. So originally I was gonna make this a cross draw, but I've changed my mind. I made this one left-handed because I'm gonna have a revolver on my hip. And that way it can sit on my left hip over here. But I'm gonna make this one just a straight up and down sheath. So what I'm gonna do is I'll cut a sliver out of this, about 1.5 inches wide, to fold over on the backside and sew it down, and that'll be my belt loop. And then I'll put my leather in here to make my fringe, sew her up, and I'll be good to go. There you go. I've got my sheaths. Well, so I got about half of this rendered down. And what I'm gonna do, you can see I've got my mason jars, some cheesecloth. I'm just gonna sift it into this, you know, through that cheesecloth into this mason jar, then let it sit, and it'll be perfect for You use it for cooking, you use it for waterproofing. I'll probably take one and just pour it straight into there so it'll create more of a lard. This will still have a lard on top. And that lard is what you want to use for waterproofing. The oil obviously is what you use for cooking. You can use them both for cooking and waterproofing, but a little thicker consistency works better on leather. I got almost 2 full jars right there, and that's only half that fat. So I'll render down some more. Let this cool a little bit. Now I have some waterproofing and cooking oil. So if you look at this, obviously 2 completely different consistencies and colors. You know, this cooked longer, so there's a little bit of burnt stuff in there. This is gonna be my waterproofing oil. That's your cooking oil. This is a little dirtier, but it'll be perfect for waterproofing all my gear. You know, one of the problems, leather will deteriorate. I don't care. You know, obviously it's gonna be worse in humid climates, but I'm getting ready to go back in the woods where we're gonna get snow, we're gonna get weather. You wanna make sure you have everything taken care of. Now, I'm just gonna apply it all along the fringe, and I'm gonna put a lot on. You can see right there, it just soaked that up. So you look at the difference. Look at those 2 sheaths. They're the same leather, same color, but just applying the oil gives it such a darker complexion, which I like. And obviously the little burnt hint to my grease adds a little darker complexion too. And then once that dries, it'll actually dry the same color, but it'll help secure that leather to where it's not gonna expand and shrink when it gets wet. You know, so like this knife going in, it's gonna stay secure instead of stretching when it gets wet. Even wet, the sheath will hold. Voila, there you have it. I'm ready to go to the backcountry.
The trail is presented by Case Knives. Keep your hands sharp. Also brought to you by Zippo, the trusted name in heat and flame. And by Magnum Research, a tradition in craftsmanship.
Last year I went into it not 100% knowing what I was in for. This year's a different story. I know what to expect, and I'm going in full force. I gotta make sure these horses are taken care of. Gotta make sure I got good shoes on them. You know, I just picked up Jensen, so the old Palomino, I gotta test him and see what he's all about. Make sure he's ready to go into the backcountry, because this isn't gonna be an easy trip. So right now, I'm just fitting this pack saddle to this horse. He's gonna be my pack critter. It'll take 7 to ride, but you wanna make sure your saddle fits properly on your animal. You're gonna get them, they'll get rubbed raw, galded, and the horse ain't worth nothing to you. So I'm just making sure everything fits good, proper. Looks good. So when you got a pack saddle like this, you want to adjust this saddle to where it's up. You don't want it right on top of his withers, because that can sore his withers up and give him sore shoulders. You want it right behind, but forward about a quarter compared to, you don't want it dead center, because then all the pressure's in the middle of the horse's back. He'll get sored up and it'll wind up hurting him in the long run. So if you can quarter that forward just a little bit, and that's why your cinch placement is so key. You quarter that forward a little bit so you have a little bit more weight up here towards his shoulders. When you cinch everything down, then it can't slide back, won't be on the middle of his back. It'll ride a lot better and be more comfortable for the horse. And when you're going long distances, you need that, because the last thing you want is a sored up horse that you can't use in the middle of the backcountry. Now that I have all my gear good, I got to make sure the horses are good. Work them around, fit the pack saddles to them. What's wrong? You get the horsey kisses? And it also gives me a little bit of time with the family. Faye gets to be around horses. I love it. What's he doing? Yeah. He's a nice horsey, look. He's a nice horsey. Yeehaw! Ride him, cowgirl. You're okay. You're okay. Look it, you're okay.
You want Daddy to wear it? No, it's for Faye. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, it fell.
Oh,
Yeah, it's down there.
what's there?
Yeah, it's down there.
Where?
At the end of the day, the hardest part of this entire trip is leaving my family. Not waking up to Faye saying Dad, sleeping next to Katerina. But you know what? I have to put that out of my head. Because now, it's time to survive. Well, now that I know all my gear's good, horses are good, I'm gonna pack all my stuff up. You know, I'm taking a little bit more this year. It's time to pack up, weigh out my packs, make sure I know what I got, and head down the trail. Well, howdy everybody. Here we are, season 2, headed in. This year I got a pack horse. I'm real excited about it. But we're headed into some of the most remote country in the lower 48. Pretty crazy. Old 7, you know, he's a year older, a year wiser, doing his thing, so let's see what happens. Some of the most beautiful country a mountain man can ride through. You know, one thing, I'm super impressed with 7. You know, I've been working with him, but I don't have the time to work with him as much as I should. But he's night and day different than last year. If you remember last year, crossing any kind of creek, or man, he would just lose his mind and launch. This year, totally different horse. That's what the backcountry will do to both him and me. And I'm looking at this beautiful country, and it's rough, it's rugged, and it's beautiful, but it doesn't take any prisoners. Day one, nothing to eat so far. It's almost dark. I rode in here 10, 12 miles. I just stopped for the night. Didn't get a chance to hunt or do much. I want to try to get probably 5 or 6 more miles tomorrow. And then I want to set up a actual camp for 3 or 4 days. It's almost dark and I'm tuckered going to bed. Horses are tired too. Sasquatch out. Well, good morning, everybody. It's the first morning on the trail. I slept okay. It always takes a couple days to get back in the groove. But, yeah. Get up, get going, get a fire started, maybe try to hunt a little bit this morning. Find some food. I want to cover another pretty good distance today, and then I'll set up camp for a couple of days. So here we are on the trail.
The trail is presented by Case Knives. Keep your hands sharp. Also brought to you by Zippo, the trusted name in heat and flame. And by Magnum Research, a tradition in craftsmanship.
Well, I'm gonna go show you why I can't make it through this anymore. Boy, this just made a huge hiccup. I've gone probably 35 miles down through here, and then now I have to turn around and go all the way back out and find a different trail, because there is no getting through what I'm about to show you with horses. It makes me wonder about the mountain men back in the day. Like, they would have had to do the same thing. They gotta backtrack and go find somewhere different to go in. This right here is the beginning of the end. All the way across, you can't even hardly get to the creek over there. It's just all deadfall. All the way down, past that corner way down there, for a solid mile or two. Well, look at all this country. Can't get horses through there. Back to the drawing board. I'll turn around, I'll backtrack. This is the fun thing, but then the frustrating thing about going through country that you don't know. Gotta go figure it out, just like the mountain men did. If I had a crosscut saw, I could cut through here in a couple of days, but all I have is a little camp saw, and it would take me a week and a half to get through there. So I'll take 2 days and turn around and go back out, circle around, and try to head towards my destination a different direction. Turn around and head back. In the meantime, I'm gonna sit here and drink me some cafecito and enjoy Mother Nature. When it throws you lemons, I don't know what you do with lemons. I have to start thinking about food. I've spent 2 days traveling trying to get down the trail, and now I got 2 days to go back. No food. I gotta be thinking about that. and got me some rose hips. I'm just gonna use my coffee cup. This is hot water. Get them steep in there. These rose hips have really good, like vitamin C, help keep you going. Let that steep for a little bit. That'll be my breakfast. Well, will you looky what we have here? Some chanterelles. At least I won't go completely hungry tonight. I always think back to the mountain men, and you think of them coming through something like this. There's a reason they didn't go up into the high country. They stayed on the main river corridors and stuff like that a majority of the time. This country is just so steep and rugged and nasty. To go explore it, it's a lot of work. But I love it. I hate the fact I got to turn around and go all the way back, but it's all fun and games until a cameraman gets left in the woods.